Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel of Lamp Boy. Got a request to do a video of how to change a wick in a Wolf FG lamp. So I'm just going to do a quick video now. I've got my Wolf FG lamp here, got a piece of wick. The wick that I use for my protector lamps, but I think it'll be alright, but I'll just show you anyway how you get into the wick and change it. So first of all, need to unlock the lamp because this lamp is locked. So I've got my rare earth magnet there. I'm just going to stick it on this right hand pull there, and I don't know if you heard that click then, but that was the lock disengaging. As with all Wolf lamps, just keep a hold of the glass when you're unscrewing the bottom, because there's nothing holding the glass and the gauzes in place, and we don't want them, or we don't want the glass falling out and smashing. So just put that there. Right, so here's the fuel cell. You've got your igniter, your wick. So to get into the wick, you just basically pull out the garfish section and the striker there, and then here you've got your wick tube there, and you've got your felt there. So we just need to take that felt out. So I'll just I've got a probe there that I can just pull that wick out with. So that just comes out, and if you can see that, there's a piece of felt underneath. You can see the wick, and just inside there's another piece of felt that sits in that part. So anyway, we just need to take the wick tube out. So you just unscrew that, and that comes out there, and that's your piece of wick that you've got there. It's quite an old wick is that, but it's still working alright. Now I'm not sure if this wick will fit in there, but we'll have a look. I can always put this old wick back in, so that'll just pull out, and that's your wick tube there. So you need to put your wick into there. So I'll just see if this will twist in. It might be quite hard to get that in. I've never done one of these before, but I know that old wick will just slide back on. So I'll just twist the end. That's not going to go in, I don't think. No, that's not going to go in there. So I'm not quite sure what that wick is there, but it looks quite thick there, but it comes down to quite a thin diameter there. So I'm guessing that's going to be this wick is 6mm, but I'm guessing I'm going to need a 5mm wick. Right, so if I had a new piece of wick, this is what I would be doing now. So you would be twisting that back into there, if you can. This is going to be a right ball ache now, I bet. Let's get a screwdriver and poke it in. So let's try and get this in the end there. So I've got the wick in now, I'll be using a screwdriver to poke it in, and I'm just going to try and twist it through. And hopefully that will just keep going through. I'm not sure that's going in either. Try and poke it in a bit. Well, I think it's slowly getting in, so I'll just come back a minute when I've got it in. Right, so it's taken me some time, but managed to twist the wick in, and the wick tube, the outer diameter of this wick tube is 7mm, so I'm guessing that a 6mm piece of wick will go in there. But like I say, I've never done one of these before. So I've got the wick pulled through there. I'll just trim that. Got these scissors. I'll just so there we have with the wick back in. So we now need to put the wick back in the fuel cell. So before we put the wick in, I'll just go through what we've got here. So you got your wick adjuster thread there. You've got the hole there for the tube that goes to the Garforth port. That's where the deputies and mine officials inserted the gas sample via a bulb. And then this one here is where your key fits underneath for lighting the igniter. So you will be turning that around like that. So we'll put this wick back in. So it goes around the edge like that, and then you just need to line up the threaded section there of the wick tube onto the wick adjuster in the cell, and then just screw that in. So your wick tube will then go up and down. So then you just put your felt there. In fact, there's a right way and a wrong way, because if you can see on that felt there, you can see that bit's thinner than that bit. So this bit will be where your I think that bit there, that's it, yeah. So when you pop it in, you can see there's a snug fit around the where the striker, where the key is for the striker and the wick adjuster. So let me just grab some fuel and we'll fuel it up and see if it'll light up. So I've just got my fuel here. I use U-Pull fast drying panel wipes. That's pretty much close to what they used to use in the old lamp films. I'm just going to fuel up this base now, so I'm just going to pour some fuel on the base. Just going to do it nice and gently so I don't overfill it, but I've got about 40ml of fuel here, and that should just be enough to fuel up the lamp. So you can see that that felt's nice and wet there. So we'll just, before I put this bit back, we'll have a look. So this is your lighting plate or your glass plate. Under that brass there, that unscrews. That's where the Garforth injection point is. You've got your flint wheel there. It's got a torsion spring there. You turn it so far and then you pull the key down, and the spring will bring the flint wheel back in the opposite direction and rub it against the flint and produce a spark. Let's just put this in. So it can be fiddly, this bit, but it's only because you've got to line stuff up. So you've got to get the brass Garforth pipe into the hole in the cell where that goes, and you've also got to get the wick tube through the Garforth burner part there. So that just, see if that just goes on. And now that don't want to go on, but let's have a look. Let's have another try, get everything lined up. That's it. That's it, I've got it all lined up now, so that's popped in there. So we'll put the glass back. Don't forget your washers. And then just screw the top back on. The thing with these Wolf lamps is not to over tighten them, because you can feel there that the glass is nice and tight, but some people over tighten them so that you can't undo them with a magnet, because the catch in the lock is against the cutout in the thread there, so you struggle to get them open. But anyway, so that's the wick back in place. So let's just see if this will light up. There we are. Turn that flame down, otherwise it's going to use all the air. Oh, it's gone out, used all the air. So got the lamp all together, and let's just see if it'll light. It's quite hard with my phone in front of me, but getting the key engaged. There we are. Turn that wick down. So that's lit now. So that is a very quick video of how to change the wick in a Wolf FG. So I hope this helps. The guy that asked me how can I see inside a fuel cell and how do you change the wick. So if you got any questions, just leave a comment below, and when I get a chance I'll answer when I can. So thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.